Welcome to my first live on Substack. If you're here live with me, feel free to pop in the chat and say hello. My name's Aimee. I'm a somatic practitioner. I'm an embodiment teacher and yoga teacher. I do a lot of trauma resolution healing work with clients. And I wanted to start a Substack because it just felt like a space where we could actually regulate together more versus Instagram that seems to be a place for quick hits. Same with TikTok. And, it's been hard for me as a somatic therapist and trauma resolution practitioner to be on those platforms where I feel like I have to subscribe to creating content that supports the quick hits just to get seen, because it really goes against my mission. Because so much of that stuff further dysregulates us more, even though it's like catchy and punchy and draws us in. And so I wanted to come on Substack. It just felt like a better place to align with the mission of my work, which is for us to co-regulate together. And it's also a space where I feel more comfortable sharing myself intimately. And holy moly, have I been going through a lot in my life. And I think that it's really helpful and important for people to see, especially practitioners going through challenge in their life and seeing how they navigate it in real time, because we're in an age where we're all being asked, I feel, to embody what we preach more. Like, this is the era for embodiment. And there's a lot of people out there, and I know everyone has their journey and their path, so I'm not here to shame or judge, but I am here to say that it is a little harmful and problematic when there are practitioners of certain work and they're not actually embodying the things that they're saying. And I think that a lot of us can feel that more and more now. And so part of me showing up on this space is for you to see a practitioner embodying their work in real time, going through real life challenges just as everyone else is, and showing up to the cause and seeing how we support ourselves through the things that everyone navigates. So I'm going to plan to be going live every Monday on here with various topics that feel alive for me. I find that I'm having so many rich conversations with friends right now, and everyone seems to be navigating such transformative waters of their life. And I'm like, why am I not sharing this stuff for everyone to hear who's interested? So that's the intention. I've been having a lot of conversations with dear ones lately around these like threshold moments of expansion, and consciously expanding in our life can feel really destabilizing. It's interesting how a lot of us want expansion, and what does that really mean? Like, it's something different for everyone, but like, we maybe want to accelerate in our career. I mean, we want our business to take off. We want more visibility. We want an engaged community. We want more followers, if that's what you're desiring. We want a relationship that feels steady and stable and loving and present and attuned. We want that partnership, and like, we want all these things. But the reality is, you might already know this, but the reality is, if that's not where we came from growing up, if we came from a home environment that was unstable, if we came from chaos, and maybe it didn't have to be that extreme, but if we didn't come from seeing expansion with ease and experiencing love and attunement and being seen and being validated and encouraged for our authenticity and embraced for all of our emotions, like, if we didn't come from, if that wasn't the fabric that we came from, then that's unfamiliar, right? And anything that's unfamiliar reads as threat in our nervous system at first. And so it's interesting witnessing myself and witnessing a lot of friends step into these things that maybe they've always wanted for themselves, or meeting these threshold moments of life where they're expanding more, but then noticing all the old stories and beliefs and things that say it's unsafe to have that life or to have that thing that you're desiring, because that's our nervous system saying, oh my God, we don't know this yet. And then we get dysregulated, and then we have activation in our system come up And what's actually required to get us to the life that we want, to the things that we desire, is for us to regulate around the moments that we get activated when stepping towards the new life. And we regulate through resources. We regulate through finding the things that support us, that feel safe, that feel soothing. And they are different for everyone. You know, it's important that you figure out what your resources are. Obviously, if we were working together one-on-one, I could help you with that. I know for me, like, I love getting outside. I love taking baths. I love like moving my body just in really intentional ways that aren't so, intense or like workout focused, but just connecting in. All those things are really regulating for me. Tea is really regulating for me, but it can be different for everyone. And what else was I going to say about this? The expansion, if we want to expand ourselves to hold more love in our lives, if we want to expand ourselves to experience more joy, if we want to expand ourselves to experience more money and financial success and acknowledgement and visibility, like if we want all these good things, it means we have to hold more challenge too. I think about this a lot in my own life of what I've been navigating recently. And there's been such rupture in my life in so many directions and in relationships. And there's been a lot of things, needless to say, there's been a lot of things that I've had to confront. And boy, would I just rather not confront them. My inner child, she's like, absolutely not today. I'm throwing a tantrum. Like, I'm going to go sob in the corner and not deal with this ever again. And some people operate like that, right? Like when we see people that are avoidant of conflict or avoidant of these things in life, like it's love to them, because it only means they don't have enough capacity in their system to confront the thing. Like, it's far too threatening and scary to have the confrontation. Most of us did not grow up with healthy models of rupture and repair in our homes. We're really learning this generation that we're in. We're really learning how to do that right now in real time, like on the battlefield, And so anyways, I say this to say that as I've had to confront a lot of things in my life lately, I've really realized, like, I could shrink and I could, be small and I can avoid, but I've done so much somatic work over the years. I've done so much healing on my nervous system. And these are the threshold moments where we expand when we meet them with all that we've been training for up until this point. And so as I've navigated some of these moments of having to confront things, I've really like regulated myself through them and used my resources. And then I've held my inner child. Somatic parts work is so important and a huge foundation of the work that I do with clients. It's changed my life. It's changed my clients' lives. It is so important. So I've held my inner child through this. I've regulated my nervous system and done resourcing work and grounding work. And then I've reminded myself, gotten my adult self back in the driver's seat and reminded myself that leaders have to confront things. Leaders have to hold more in their lives. They have to hold more responsibility. They have to hold more confrontation. They have to hold more challenge. And if we want the bigger life that we have always said we wanted, we do have to meet these moments and show up to them with presence in that way, with courage, with ability to. And really what's at the root of that is our nervous system. Our nervous system is at the root of everything that we are wanting. It drives our behaviors. It informs our actions and the way that we think. It truly drives our thoughts. It's a foundation for all the unconscious stuff that runs our lives. So that's really why I do somatic work, because it does change lives. It's never quite as fast as we want it to be, unfortunately. But your nervous system wouldn't want fast change. Even though you might think you want fast change, your nervous system actually would be so dysregulated if you had fast change. But the way, like I said, that we get to where we want to be is through meeting the small incremental moments with presence, with our ability to regulate, and with our ability to show up differently than before. Because every time we do that, we're showing our nervous system, we're showing our body it's safe to actually have the things that we want in life. So I just felt like I wanted to come on and speak to this because I've been seeing myself navigate it. I've been seeing a lot of friends and clients navigate this stuff. And I think sometimes it can be like, how do we actually create change? And this is how. It's in those small moments where we, take steps towards the things that we want, or the things that we want actually start coming to us. And then we might have some activation come up. Can we regulate around what's coming up? Show ourselves it's safe to take that step, or it's safe to have that new experience, or it's safe to confront that thing. And then all of a sudden, we've done that. We've survived that, and we can do it again. And then we can do it again. And then we can do it again. And this expands our capacity to hold all of it, not just the challenge and the hardship, but the love, the beauty, the visibility, the expansion. So let me know how this lands for you. I plan to do more lives every single week on Mondays, and I'm thinking at 1:30 p.m. PST they will be. So let me know if that time works for you, if a different time would be better for you. And I am absolutely taking requests for topics. If there's something specific that you think would be really, really supportive for you for me to talk about and to touch on, anything somatics, anything embodiment, anything coming up in your life that you're seeking support around, I'm here for requests. So I'm sending you much, much love today, and I will talk to you very soon.